According to independent investigative reports, Russian soldiers have been dying rapidly within months of being mobilized in Ukraine. News.com has learned that the Russian soldiers who died in the Ukraine war were killed within an average of 4.5 months of being enlisted. Russian independent investigative outlet IStories, or Important Stories, and the War Monitoring Project Conflict Intelligence Team, CIT, have used publicly released data related to the deaths of draftees from the partial mobilization announced a year ago to draw up a report on the Russian casualties. According to Newsweek, around 300,000 military personnel were called up in Putin's mobilization order in 2022, and after suffering heavy losses, some Moscow officials sent out yet another military summons. The reports from IStories and CIT state that more than half of the dead, who were mobilized, lived at the front for less than 5 months, and every fifth person who died did not live even 2 months at the front lines. Their report further states that only 4 of the mobilized troops who died in Ukraine lasted more than 11 months before being killed at the front lines. While Russia seldom comments on the estimate of troop losses, Ukraine put the tally of Russian troop losses at 274,470 on Thursday, September 21st. However, the two outlets believe that the actual death toll of the Russian troops is likely much higher than what has been reported. The analyses conducted by the two outlets found a wide age gap between the youngest, 19 years old, and the oldest, 62 years old, fallen troops, and also noted that the mobilized troops killed were between the ages of 30 and 45. The aforementioned 19-year-old soldier has been identified as Anton Getman, who came from Russia's Rostov region. Newsweek reported that Getman was mobilized 3 months after the end of his military service, and he died in November 2022. Reports from IStories and CITL stated that almost a third of the fallen soldiers were between the ages of 20 and 29, and every 10th mobilized soldier who died was under 25. Recently, the UK's Ministry of Defence, MOD, shared an intelligence update that, according to Newsweek, described how Russian troops are suffering from low morale because they are not receiving adequate breaks from the front lines, something the reports from IStories and CITL have also noted. The absence of regular unit rotations out of combat duty is highly likely one of the most important factors contributing to low Russian morale, and the Russian army's failure to conduct higher-level training since the invasion. The lack of such training is highly likely contributing to Russia's difficulties in conducting successful complex offensive operations, MOD's update states. The reports from the two outlets also tell a similar story. Now many conscripts complain that they have been serving for 11 months and have never been home. Once mobilization begins, they can no longer refuse to participate in the war with impunity, and we are seeing a growing level of criminal prosecution for unauthorized abandonment of a unit. Per the latest update on the war, the general leading Ukraine's counteroffensive along the southern front line says his forces have broken through in Verbov, thus crossing through an important line of Russian defenses. On the left flank, near Verbov, we have a breakthrough and we continue to advance further, General Alexander Tarnavsky told CNN.